And finally, the ultimate match of this episode for the Elite Eight, we have the Omaha Beach sequence from Saving Private Ryan as the number one seed in the Arnold bracket, which has taken out Jackie Chan's Police Story, which has taken out Top Gun Maverick, which has taken out Tom Cruise again in Mission Impossible 6 Fallout. It's taken out a mall fight, a test run sequence, a helicopter chase. And it's going to go up against Mad Max Fury Road. The sequence in particular is the bike jump chase sequence. They break the land bridge, chase down. It ends with the bride falling out of their tanker truck. Mad Max has gotten here by beating out Trainwreck from The Fugitive, the trench scene from Wonder Woman, and a scene I didn't know if I was going to be able to pull the trigger on in The Ride of the Rohirrim and The Return of the King. Mad Max has had some fierce competition. How did you split this one?
I did 7-3 Saving Private Ryan.
I went 5-5. The things I think Mad Max succeeds on, I like way more than I like Saving
I
Private
was
Ryan.
close. Yeah, I was really close to doing 6-4 Saving Private Ryan. So I was in between 7 and 6, but either way, Saving Private Ryan was going to move on. I think the thing about Mad Max is the same thing that we talked about with Speed, where it's like that whole movie is action.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, that scene is amazing, but it is a scene in a movie full of
Of scenes.
action scenes.
Yes. It takes Speed, and then it's like if Speed did cocaine. That's what Mad Max is.
I would say a different drug because it's definitely more trippy than cocaine is.
Oh, yes, of course, but
Because cocaine is just like, oh, we gotta go, we gotta move.
yeah, yes. Uh, the reason I was split on this is the enjoyment level for me is much higher in one scene than another.
Oh, I totally agree with that. Sure.
The I love the cinematography in both, and I think Mad Max has such a unique style, and I mean it won an Oscar for editing for a reason. The way it's cut is just so cool and brings so much pace. Where I never want to say that the Omaha
I'm
Beach sequence lags. I don't think it
I'm
lags, but
I'm gonna guess that both of them won best editing.
I wouldn't be shocked.
I'll look it up right now.
But what I would say about this is when I look at it, I don't want to say Omaha Beach lags for me, but it certainly feels a little bit more weighty than Mad Max in terms of Mad Max is still bam 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 bam. Like Mad Max is one of the scenes that I had to break into two scenes for our viewers that are in the descriptions, right? And in doing so, it like where it has to break up the scene, we just got started. What are we doing? Like, and it ends so quickly. In feel, really, it's six in terms of true just of the action happening and not the setup. It's 6 minutes of film, but it feels like it's 30 seconds. It's just heart pounding all the time. Where in Omaha Beach, there's more of that horror feel to it, and it really gets the feeling of
Yeah.
allowing the viewer to be in that position of horrific stakes for a human being.
Yes, and that's kind of the point,
Yeah.
is to show that how horrific war is,
Yes.
which is why, like, whenever a World War II veteran, like, talks about that movie, they always say how
Yeah.
realistic it seems to them. Yeah, it doesn't seem pleasant, that's for sure.
No.
It's not a fun movie to watch, really.
There's parts of it that are fun, but most of it's not.
Yeah. So it won best cinematography, best editing. It won Spielberg won director for it. Um, just looking through here. Obviously, it lost picture,
Yep.
sound. And then let me just look real quick for Mad Max here, because that cleaned house for
I was
a
gonna
lot
say it
of.
won 7 Oscars.
So that got film editing, makeup and hairstyling, production design, sound editing, sound mixing. Yeah, those.
Yeah.
So
To me, it came down to preference. That was the biggest thing. Is I think
yeah,
I can't argue the craft of Saving Private Ryan, but I also think the craft is matching in Mad Max. But I was like, if I have to lean in terms of quality, I think it's probably Saving Private Ryan. Or in terms of enjoyment factor, it's not close for me. It's Mad
I
Max.
I think Saving Private Ryan's doing a little bit more with craft because they're doing a little bit more of the subjective
Sure.
camera work where it's like I don't know if they're doing low frame rate or if they're messing with the shutter angle or whatever, where it's like stuff will just all of a sudden slow down, it seems,
Yeah.
and then and then the sound will just like completely cut out, stuff like that. Um, so I feel like they do more with their scene,
Yeah.
but it is down to preference kind of at the end of the day. They're both great scenes.
Yeah. The stunt work is incredible in Fury
Yeah.
Road. Those bike jumps, and also when you watch the behind the scenes, not as many safety protocols on that as you would believe there would be. I don't know, it's fucking moving, just jump over it. You're like, what?
Huh. That's awesome.
And it's wild how much of that is that pace. It's one of the best editing jobs I've ever seen because the pace is there throughout.
Did they film that part in Australia?
I would say I think they filmed. I'm not sure because they had to move to Tunisia or Namibia, somewhere in northern Africa,
Mm-hmm.
because there was a rainstorm that took their entire post-apocalyptic wasteland and turned it into a green field in Australia.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. Yeah.
So it was interesting, but then they went back to Australia eventually, and then I think back to Africa again to do more. So I'm not entirely sure where that was shot.
Yeah, I want to say Omaha Beach was filmed in Ireland. I want to say. I'm just gonna look it up
That's some cold fucking water, dude.
because I think they've got like yeah, Ireland. I want to say they got like it was a crazy amount of extras that were all uh war veterans to do the stunt work. Um, but I can't remember how many. Shot over 15 days, $12 million to do that scene.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, yeah,
God damn.
pretty impressive.
God damn. I mean, it's impressive on the least. On the least, it's so fucking good. It's an incredible scene. It's a preference thing, and I went with Mad Max, but I was tied because I didn't know if I could really argue Mad Max either. So I went to split there. But Saving Private Ryan in a 12-8 win is going to make it into the final four.